Yeah, definitely. I like Diontae Johnson. So you're
That's
saying
all, folks.
top 5 for Diontae
Top
Johnson?
cinco, bro.
Say the big.
Season 4, Episode 5 of the AVG Fantasy Football Podcast. He told me to bring it, so I brought it. Us big boys are gonna mess everything up. Yeah, you guys wanted me to bring it. The
boys.
doctor's in the house making house calls.
You should be a strip club DJ. You have that voice.
Welcome to the AVG Fantasy Football Podcast. My name is Michael Marcanio. I'm here with Tyler Ravelis, Andre Navarro, and Anthony
I think we're
Ravelis.
all doing guns.
Yeah, bang-a-rang. Bang-a-rang, orang-a-tang. Okay, today we are doing bold predictions. It's going to be fantasmic, all right? Listen, it's probably going to be the best fantasy advice you've ever heard in your entire life. You're like thinking to yourself, fuck, I got to keep this a secret. But if you have one good friend that you play fantasy football with and you hear these bold predictions and you realize they come true, why don't you share the love?
Facts.
Give them AVG Fantasy Football.
Yes.
And guess what? Coming up in this next month, we have a pretty sweet draft package too, so be on the lookout for that, okay? Yes, Dre, this is news to Dre, but...
No, it ain't. I fucking knew it, dude.
Oh, yeah, no, he knew.
This ain't no
looking
joke.
He fucking knew.
Fucking knew it, dude.
Hey, be like a pirate. Be on the lookout.
But go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already on the YouTube, if you're watching us in video format. If you're listening to us on any audio podcast, go ahead and leave us a review, a rating. You know what? Actually, why don't you listen to the episode first and then give us a rating and review, because we want to make sure you enjoy your time here, all right?
That's right.
That's right, baby. So let's get into it. Like, subscribe, follow us on all our social medias. Everything is listed down below. If you want an easier time navigating through the episode, I always put the timestamps in the description, so that way, you know, if you want to hear us talk about a certain wide receiver or whatnot, that is listed down there. So let's get into it, babies.
Let's do
Baby.
it.
Let's get it.
Was that an okay intro?
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was
it
it,
sounded
dude.
good.
You
Sounded
fucking
good.
brought it, dude.
Sounded great to me.
And I'm proud of you.
It's been brought.
Okay, cool. I just want to
It's
make
already
sure.
been brought in.
It's been brought.
Yeah.
Does that bring it on?
Brought.
I just-
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I can't hear computer. But let's get into it, baby. All
Let's
right.
do it. So, yeah, it's the bold predictions. This is early bold predictions, you know, for what we think could possibly happen. I think we all like these players in general. You know, a lot of players are probably going to be targeting in all of our drafts. But, you know, just looking at the upside of what could potentially happen with these players here. So, but I'll start off right here. Here's a guy that I'm going to be drafting in every single one of my leagues. I'm going to be making sure I get him as much as possible. I'm talking about Cam Akers, the second-year running back from the Los Angeles Rams.
Yes. Beast.
I was waiting for Anthony to do it, though.
Yeah,
I love this for you.
You gotta
too.
be just as Mike for all Ram players.
I was. This is one I called last year, and I
agree.
wanted it. Yeah, me and Dre, I think we're very big proponents. Yeah. That was one of the, he's one of the guys where I was out places and some people would be like, "Hey, bro, I got Cam Akers because you said so," and I'm like, "Oh, fuck."
Yeah.
I was all over. I mean, I got him
Yeah.
in Dynasty. I was yeah. It was a strong draft class, though. I mean,
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor, J.K. Dobbins, Cam Akers. But, man, he came on late, and they definitely trusted him to take over the reins for sure. He was out there balling. But go ahead, T. Put it on him.
Yeah, so
Put it on him.
my bold prediction for Cam Akers is that he will finish as a top 5 running back.
Love it.
So I love Cam Akers, top 5 running back here. I'm gonna tell you why. You got no more Malcolm Brown there. I know, like you said, a lot of us were pretty high on Cam Akers. Mike, like you said, people were drafting him because you said to. But the problem over there was, you know, you had Malcolm Brown to start off the season. You know, they have Darrell Henderson as well. You know, Malcolm Brown was getting a lot of those goal line carries over there. You know, when we got towards the tail end of the season, actually from week 13 on, it was pretty much the Cam Akers show. They played 6 games total from week 13 on. You had 4 regular season games and then 2 games in the playoffs for the Rams right there. Cam Akers played in 60% of all those games. So you kind of saw them really kind of turn a new regime or a new era or whatever it is to Cam Akers. A guy where, you know, obviously they traded up and they got him. So, like I said, they get rid of Malcolm Brown. He's with the Dolphins now. They still have Darrell Henderson. But in those games where Cam Akers played the 60% of the snaps, he saw 16 or more total touches in all 6 of the games. And just a little hashtag interesting stat right here. The Rams went 4-2 during that stretch of the 6 games where Cam Akers saw 60% or more of the snaps. They won all 4 games that he saw 20 or more touches, and they lost the 2 games where he was held to under 20 touches. So I'm pretty sure Sean McVay and the Rams coaching staff is aware of this. You want to win some games, you want to play some defense, and you want to give Cam Akers the football here. I think it only helps to get an upgrade at the position at quarterback. Obviously, Jared Goff just wasn't getting it done last year. So they go out, they make the move, they get Stafford. So they get the upgrade at the quarterback position there. And then they bring in some talent in Deshaun Jackson, who maybe Deshaun Jackson isn't the same player he was back in the day. And if he can just stay healthy, because I feel like he's been battling a lot of injuries towards the tail end of his career. But just a guy who can stretch the field. I mean, you still got Bobby Trees there, who is pretty solid. And then Cooper Kupp, just another solid wide receiver there as well. And, so I love Cam Akers here. I just think the ceiling's through the roof. I think if they're going to give the guy the ball 20-plus times a game, he's going to see 300, 350 total touches. I think he's got top 5 upside.
Nope.
That Gurley 2.0 type of style here.
Yep, just about to say, we saw what he did with Gurley when he once he fully utilized him to the potential. And hopefully Akers doesn't get those arthritic knees that are just so terrible. That aren't arthritis, they're just arthritic.
They're arthritic. It's a difference.
There's a difference. Whatever it is, there's a difference. But, yeah, man, he looked good. Especially had those. He had almost ran for 200. They gave him 30 carries in a game. They have the trust in him. Now he has a full off season. It's not a COVID off season. He's finally going to see a mini camp, a preseason. You know what they say for running backs? The second year is when the game kind of starts slowing down. Seeing the holes. They know what hole to cut back, and they expect more. I was actually listening to MJD, and that's where I kind of got that from. He's like, yeah. The biggest thing from first year to second year was the pass protection, knowing that more, knowing where you have to be, and then knowing where the cutback lane is as far as for a running back, knowing how they're going to, set up the blocks. And to see how good he looked last year in those 6 games, I mean, I'm excited to see what he can do for a 16-game slate because he looks good and he's young, man. He's only 21 years old.
I mean, I still think they're going to use Darrell Henderson.
For sure,
I've heard some knock on Cam Akers. Some guys were kind of saying how that he's getting drafted too high, actually, because they think that it's going to be a running back by committee with him and Darrell Henderson. But
tripping.
I think if they were confident in Darrell Henderson, you don't trade up in the draft to get Cam Akers last year because you're just like, hey, we already have Malcolm Brown. We're confident in Darrell Henderson. We don't need Cam Akers. But obviously, they want Cam Akers to be the guy. That's why they traded up to get him. So, yeah, love me some Cam Akers. They're going to be one of my to-the-moon guys on a future episode.
Yeah, I mean, really, Darrell Henderson's the only thing that's standing in his way. If that's even if he is standing in the way, so
he might step over him. I don't know. But, I mean, no. Literally, he might just be.
He's still really
he's just a lot gooder than him.
More the goodest.
He's just way gooder.
Super gooder.
But no, I agree. I dig it. I mean, I'm excited to see the Rams with Stafford too. They're gonna have to respect the pass game. So I'm curious just how they're gonna. It's going to be fun calling plays for that offense with all those guys over there. That's for sure. They got Tua Atwell. Like this is the thing. The Rams don't have many draft picks to begin with because they just trade them away to get players. So the fact last year they get Van Jefferson, and then this year with their first pick they get Tua Atwell. It's like they're just going off. They're just trying to score. They don't give a shit. His name's Tutu.
Tyler, you think he's going to be in the top 5? Say you have the 111 spot. Are you taking Cam Akers there because he's going 201?
Is that where he's going right now?
Probably. Depends on who's going to be there. Is my mic on this one? Depends on who's going to be there. But I'm not mad at it. But there's a dream scenario, if I can get another running back there or I guess a stud wide receiver and then I come back in the second round and I grab him like you said in the 2-1. Yeah, I don't think I'm letting him get past me at that point.
Good for him, dude.
I think if I could be wrong on the offensive line, I believe they lost. Didn't they lose someone to start the year last year too?
Yeah.
I'm not remember which offensive lineman, but I know he was. I could be wrong on this, but if I'm right on that only helps the upside of what we're talking about.
Yeah, no, they did. I forget his name.
Yeah. Fuck. All right, yeah. So Cam Akers top 5. My first bold prediction. We'll jump into the second one.
Okay, let's go into this one's yours as well.
And this one is the Messiahs, aka Andre Navarro.
Man, I mean, what do you guys think about
the Jaguar? I'm here for animal noises only.
No, I mean Marvin Jones Jr.
I did a Ram. I did a Jaguar.
He's
What's your bold prediction?
He's going to be top 25. He's going as wide receiver. I saw a few, but he averaged like wide receiver like 54. It was between 53 and 56. I saw like it was like CBS, like NFL. I don't know. It was like 6 different things, but that was like the average. He's going average in the 12th round. And the Jags, I mean, he could easily start off as a number 1 receiver there. I mean, I know obviously the Laviska hype is there. If you've been paying attention, he's definitely getting love. But the one thing they need is a good veteran presence. And this dude, Marvin Jones, is like a touchdown machine. He has in 3 of the last 4 years. He has at least 9 touchdowns. He has He has three 9-touchdown seasons and a 10-touchdown season, which is like the most just low key. He just gets the job done every year. He doesn't command high targets. Last year was his career high in targets at only 115, and he managed to be the number 18 wide receiver in PPR. The sneakiest, just so the fact that he's going at wide receiver 54 after doing that with the Lions, where he's going now to a rookie quarterback, the targets are going to be there. I just think he's going to completely outplay that 12th round ADP. I can easily see him getting. I mean, last year he finished with 76 catches, 978, and 9 touchdowns. I can easily see him getting 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns with 75, 80 catches.
Yeah, who's throwing? I can't remember who's
Trevor
throwing the ball.
Lawrence.
Like,
I mean, you have.
wasn't it like bleh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have Trevor Lawrence. I mean, they're completely. They've redone the offense or improved. You got Travis Etienne. You have Marvin Jones Jr. You have Laviska Shenault. I mean, I think they're going to go. They're going to be. And you have DJ Shark. No disrespect to him either, but he's a vet. And like I said, he just finds the end zone. I think he's going to find a good role there and completely outplay that ADP of wide receiver 54. I think he can. He's got top 25. And if you do snag him late, just imagine if you get him in the 11th or 12th round and he finishes top 25. I mean, you can trade him. Fuck it. It's not going to be sexy. He's on the Jags, but I mean, they're going to be playing from behind. I mean, but they're going to put up points. I think this year. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. And if you can get a wide receiver 1 on a team in that late, I mean, I why not? Why not?
Why not?
I mean, he had 115 with Golladay. Was kind of hurt. The line sucked, but I mean, there's no way he doesn't get 100 targets this year, at least.
No, I like it. I mean, he's going to be a guy out in, like you said, late rounds, 10, 11, 12th round. I mean, but the upside that he offers is crazy. And, I mean, them drafting Trevor Lawrence, like we broke down Trevor Lawrence in the other episode where we went over the rookie quarterbacks. I mean, you know, like I said, Burrow or Trevor Lawrence, I would have taken Trevor Lawrence over Burrow if they were in the same draft class. So, yeah, and if I'm Trevor Lawrence, who do I want to look to? Like you said, Dre, I want to look towards the veteran. Yeah, Laviska Shenault, the second-year guy, shifty guy, versatile kind of guy. And then you got DJ Chark as well, who's talented. But if I'm Trevor Lawrence, and I really want to try to learn how to be a pro, I'm going to go to the veteran and be like, hey, help me. You've been in the game for X amount of years already. Help me get better. And obviously that'd be the guy who I'd be leaning on most would be Marvin Jones.
Hey, Trev, help me help you.
Hey, it's crazy. He got his 3rd contract. Dude, how dope is that? Him and Keenan Allen played at Cal together. Whew. Those two, Marvin Jones and Keenan Allen. It's pretty crazy if you think about it. Same team, but yeah, he's been in the league 8-9 years.
And you like Keenan Allen a lot,
too. Dog.
So it makes sense.
It's
all coming together.
I mean, but dude, Marvin Jones, you know what it is? It's like every time I have him in a couple leagues, and then when I play him, I played him last year when he had the 4-touchdown game. I'm like, God, I fucking hate him. He always scores. He's like the opposite of Julio Jones. Like Julio Jones can't find the end zone. This dude Marvin Jones is always in the end zone.
You meant like you played against him?
Against him. I'm saying I have him, but when I play against him, he balls. So I'm like, dude, this dude.
Yeah.
So Andre will let everyone know when he's playing against Marvin Jones next year.
Yeah, 4 touch. Maybe I get him. Then I don't have to play against him.
Maybe that's the strategy.
Because
Just
Dre
draft
left
him
to
in every
manifest.
Hey, can't beat him, join him, dude. They made that up for a reason. Fuck.
I think I say the same thing every year with Marvin Jones. He's getting underdrafted every year.
I feel like
until he retires, he's getting underdrafted.
Yeah,
I feel like he's 55 years old. He's still getting underdrafted.
He's like, dude, he scored 8 touchdowns last year.
And he scored half of them in one game.
I don't even think Julio Jones has 3-9 and 110 touchdown season.
No,
obviously, he's
definitely not.
He's way better, but this dude just has a nose for it. Whatever it is, but now he finally gets to, like I said, be the vet. Urban Meyer hopefully can utilize him in the right way. I think he's gonna.
I mean, they went out and got him in free agency, so obviously they have plans to utilize him. I'm a big guy where if you go out and get somebody, you trade for him, you trade up for him in the draft, or you go and get him in free agency. It's because you have plans to utilize that player and integrate him into the offense. So I like that one. Marvin Jones, top 25 wide receiver from Dre.
And I don't know if you heard, my bad. They were trying to trade DJ Shark to the Ravens in the offseason too. They were actually trying to get rid of him, so doesn't bode well for him either.
No.
So
Not at all. Not at all.
Well, that sounds like Marvin Jones.
Dude, it sounds like some
really
science.
bringing the heat.
he said it sounds like some silence. Silence does have a sound.
Yeah.
That's very.
It does.
Hey, that's very deep.
Unless-
That's very bold. Of
Hey,
you.
but unless you're deaf,
I think that's Amax and X
Ah,
bold
still has
statement.
sound, bro.
Silence has a good sound.
Anyways, let's move on to.
You know what you hear is silence when you drop a ball on prime time.
Oh yeah.
And, perfect segue.
Perfect segue. Ball dropper 3000.
Diontae
Johnson.
I'm gonna have a theme with my guys, and I've always been someone who I like the elite route runners. I don't care if you're 6'4", can jump through the roof, but if you can't separate, I've had a history of liking these guys who like Stephon Diggs. I loved for years, and then he finally got their opportunity. Just an elite route runner. I'm trying to think of who else there was. I've always kind of had these things for these guys who can separate at every level, and Diontae Johnson does it. Like, I don't want to say he's Antonio Brown, but he's low key in his first 2 seasons resembling Antonio Brown.
His route running, yeah. It is
And that's the thing is we have a new coordinator coming in. You draft a running back. Last year he had only 2 games when he actually played the full snaps. He had under 10 targets in a game he didn't get injured because he actually got injured a lot last year. I think that's why he's being underdrafted. It's the drops and the injuries from last year.
Yeah.
But in the games where he did play, he averaged 12.1 targets per game. That would have led the league. And I think that was on pace for almost 200 targets. And I think Antonio Brown had a 200 target season.
Yep.
So I'm not saying he is, but he separates at every level. Juju Smith, I'm kind of done with him. It's his 4th year. The guy can't separate from press, man. Claypool is a nice guy on the outside, but we also don't know if they adjust this offense to 2 wide receiver sets. And Diontae Johnson can win at all levels. I know the drops is the thing, but drops year to year, it's not a sticky stat. I mean, the year before he had about 100 targets and only 3 drops. DK Metcalf, who everyone's in love with, had, I think, 11 drops as well last year. Yep. Jerry Jeudy, I think, had like 14. It's just it happens, and when you see it in prime time, it gets blown up to like, oh, he's a drop machine, and it's like, he did drop some slants, but the slant is like low key one of the hardest. The ball you're turning, the ball's getting thrown, it's right in your face. So
I
it's
feel like
kind
Devontae Parker catches everything except for slants. Just kind of side note.
exactly.
Well, and then you got Michael Thomas, who only catches slants, as they say.
So what do I look for in like a receiver that has top 5 potential? I want targets. I want high target volume. He's shown the ability to score. He's shown even the year before. When I had him as I think one of my, I don't know if it was bold predictions, but I had him as one of my guys. I was like, don't be surprised if he outplays Juju, because he outplayed Juju the year before with the same quarterback. And you don't just get targeted, 10, 12, 14, 16 times a game if you're just an average receiver. He does it in all phases. He wins underneath. He wins over the top. And I know, Mike, you watched the Steelers game. I have to assume that they start playing a little bit more vertical than they did last year.
Yeah, definitely. Matt Canada, the offensive coordinator, he's actually got like a lot of experience as an offensive coordinator, and like with a lot of different colleges and whatnot. And he's a quarterback's coach. So I think I'm excited for like how the offense is going to run this next season. They're going to actually run the ball with Najee Harris. The offensive line is like a lot younger, so I think it's going to serve well for Diontae Johnson. They supplemented the run game last year with little short, tiny dinks and dunks with Ben, and it didn't work. And so I think you're totally right. It's going to go way more vertical this year.
Well, and that only benefits Diontae Johnson because the thing is he had a lot of targets, and he had 88 receptions last year. It was only for 923 yards, but that's because they were dinking and ducking a lot of underneath things. If they do go more vertical, that's only going to benefit him. 7 touchdowns as well last year. I looked at who was the number, I think it was the number 6 or 5. I forget where Justin Jefferson finished, but it was like 88 receptions, 1,400 yards, and with 7 touchdowns. So that's kind of where I was like, I can see him getting to 1,400 yards, the receptions going up to maybe 100. And then, if he gets 7 to 10 touchdowns, that's probably right around that top 5 finish. And he's got the talent to do it. And this is only his 3rd year.
No, I couldn't agree.
Even though this is a bold prediction, he will be ranked in my top 12. Like and he's actually ranked like wide receiver like 20, I think 4 on average or 27.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'm right there with you. I had a bunch of shit written. Yeah, he 2019 to 2020, he went from 5.8 targets to 9.6 this past year, so that's a substantial increase. He only had a 61.1% catch rate because of the drops, but in the 13 games he played with Big Ben, he averaged 11.8 targets in those 13 games. he was on pace, if you stretch that out for 17 games, 124 catches on 1,237 yards on 200 targets, which is fucking impressive. Granted, it was only those 13 games, but, I mean, you see the potential there with Big Ben if he's getting that much love. 200 targets, like you said, he would have been number one in the league. I mean, I think he still had like 160 targets. Right around there, but Big Ben was just feeding him the ball. But the dude's like you said, the dude's always open. So to see him get an increase of almost 4 targets a game, I think he's still going to be on that threshold. He's going to get you 150 targets, 160 targets again, maybe more. So I agree with you with pretty much everything. You said.
Volume is key. If you're going to see that many targets, that's usually what you want for a top 5 wide receiver. You want to see that 140, 150, 160 plus. Target threshold over here.
So yeah,
you have to also believe.
Game,
that Big Ben's arms got to be a little bit. I feel like he didn't have the conditioning for a full 16, but now with that he had a full year to off season to get even. He was coming off with the whatever surgery he got.
His elbow.
Yeah, and it's like now to get a full off season. I feel like he kind of did. It's almost like what do they call it? Like pitcher's fatigue, where you just kind of get like a tired arm.
Yeah, that's just.
I feel like he had a little bit of that
dead arm.
Like a dead arm.
He threw the ball the most at every quarterback in the NFL last year.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And coming off the type of surgery he did at his age, I think that kind of gave him a little bit of a dead arm. So now if you have more of a balanced offense, maybe, and then, you have more of a running game, you can run play action. And the guy who's getting open deep in Diontae Johnson, who can make these plays, I think, even if he does only see 140, 150, those yards per reception and the long plays could go up as well.
Yeah, definitely. I like Diontae Johnson. So you're saying
that's all, folks.
Top 5 for Diontae Johnson?
Top 5, bro.
Very good. He's going in the 5th round. So if you can grab a wide receiver in the 5th round,
Calvin Ridley. That's why I was so big on him last year. I'm big on route runners.
If you can grab a receiver that ends up being top 5 in the 5th round, sign me up.
Yeah, I agree with everything. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if he finishes top 5.
All right, you guys ready for my bold prediction?
Get bold.
Here I am with my bold prediction. This is Tyler's guy. I've infamously, I guess, finessed this in a lot of drafts right in front of Tyler. I'm like, Tyler, you like Mike Williams?
I think the only reason you like Mike Williams is because I'm obsessed with Mike Williams, and we do the podcast, and you're like, oh, Mike Williams, good, yeah.
Hey,
I like Mike Williams.
I think the only reason you like Cam Akers is because Mike's obsessed with Cam Akers.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro, reversal.
Yeah, fuck you. Shut up.
Yeah, I tried to get Mike Williams in my dynasty league a month ago for a 2nd-round pick, and he didn't accept.
So my bold prediction is that Mike Williams finishes top 20 in 2021.
I ain't mad at you.
I feel like I almost said top 15, but I'm going to stick with top 20.
Now, see, I love these. This year, bro. I agree, dude. It wouldn't surprise me at all either, man. He's a touchdown machine if he can just get the fucking rock.
Yeah, so, and then on top of it, I think Justin Herbert is just
slanging that
I
thing.
think he's a monster. I think, we barely saw a little bit of what it's going to be. I think he's going to be kind of in this new era of quarterbacks. So I love that. And he was on pace. Besides the couple games he ended up getting injured or having to leave early and whatnot because he didn't start every game or whatnot. He didn't play in every single one. He was on target to get over 100 targets. It was 100. He would have come out to 110 targets in 2020. Now, that being said, I think that can happen this year. And if I can get a guy that's just coming in the 12th round and I can grab him and he's going to get that many targets in the year, fucking sign me up, dude.
For sure. I remember T was trying to get him from me a couple times last year.
Yeah, he would not.
I would not let him. Hey, you know why? Because he always has that game where he'll get you that 5 for 125
and
two touchdowns, and it's just I'm waiting for his bitch ass to do it. I know 2 years ago he did it against the Chiefs in the fantasy playoffs and got 4 touchdowns, and I didn't start him. I still never forget that.
He's talented. He's so big. He's a very athletic person. It's just we're just waiting for the year where everybody's holy shit, this guy's where has this guy been?
Yeah, because he's got it for sure, man. Yeah. He definitely does. It's just so weird that he just can't put it together consistently because he's definitely got the size. 6'4", 6'5".
The guy's just a freak of nature.
Big body,
with
big
how
body.
big he is, how fast he is. It's Megatron-esque with how he is. It's you throw the ball to him, he's open, even when he's covered. Just how big he is and how high he can jump and just out muscle the smaller DBs. But like you said, Mike. I mean, Justin Herbert coming into his second year. I mean, he obviously looked really good. So you're assuming Herbert's just going to get even better. But one thing I like about the Chargers offense is, they really boosted the offensive line. They go out and they draft Rashawn Slater in the first round.
Love it.
They go out and get Corey Linsley in free agency from the Packers, who is one of the top tier centers in the NFL.
They guapped him out.
Then they got Brian Balaga. I think it was last year they got him as well. So this offensive line is going to be one of the better offensive lines in the NFL. Dare I say maybe top 10 offensive line in the NFL, I think, or at least in the top half of the NFL. So that's only going to help Justin Herbert, give him more time, maybe stretch the field, because it seemed like Mike Williams was kind of the vertical down the field stretch guy, where Keenan Allen was kind of more of the across the middle, do everything kind of guy. So as long as Herbert's got more time to sling the ball down the field, I think we see a lot more Mike Williams.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to see this dude, Hunter Henry. I was making fun of what's his name. But I wanted to bring up Hunter Henry because he's no longer there. You go to the target share of the team last year. I mean, the running back position saw 150 targets. I mean, let's assume all things equal, and then that Justin Herbert throws the ball around an equal amount of times. The running back position, we'll see just based off the offense, a lot of opportunity. But you're losing Hunter Henry, and then they did draft a rookie tight end, but you got to look at those targets and where they're going to get redistributed to. So I mean, I think it wouldn't be out of the question for Mike Williams to get 120 this year based off of the potential lack of targets to go to the tight end position. So because the running backs, 150 targets for a running back position is a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, Eckler's going to eat though.
No, yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
And 137. I mean, they did throw the ball a lot last year in general. I think they were over 600 pass attempts, or they were close to it. But like I said, I mean, without Hunter Henry, I don't see the tight end position pushing that 137, 140 threshold. So those targets have to go, unless they just ground and pound nonstop, those targets have to go somewhere else. So, Keenan Allen has high upside again. I mean, he's being drafted like that. But, Mike Williams might push his, I think 120 would probably be his career high in targets. So it'd be exciting to see what he could do if he gets 120 targets.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's in his contract year this year, or next year. I know they exercised his fifth.
Oh, that was something I forgot to say. It is his contract year this year.
Did they exercise his fifth year option? Because I know they did. So I don't know if this is his fourth or fifth year.
I think he's in a contract year this year right now.
So like you said, a little more incentive. Hey, I have to stay healthy. I have to perform because whether I'm on the Chargers or not next year, I want to get the bag. I need to secure the bag. I want to get paid. So I need to stay healthy, one, and I need to perform. So go out there and put up some touchdowns.
Which means if he does well this year, don't draft him next year, because we saw what happened with Zeke. He got the money, and then he fucking didn't produce honey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Dude. Well, Zeke, did you see that video of Zeke in the offseason?
He looked good.
Was he smashing corn dogs or something?
No, it was over like the one I posted on my story. With like the fat dude. He's like,
I don't remember.
Put him up, coach.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, because apparently he's balling, but to go with what you were saying, so Mike Williams has never had more than 90 targets or 50 catches in a season. So the most he's ever had in a season is 90 and 49. So he's never gotten past 90 and past 50. Even the year he got 1,000 yards, he had 49 catches for over 1,000 yards. Like, that's fucking bananas.
Yeah, something's got to break.
He had 80. I think he had 84 targets in this past year, if I don't have that right or not. But
last year, yeah, you're 85.
Where's he being drafted at? Does anyone know? If not, I could look it up.
He's in the 12th round, like 11-12.
Okay.
Like 11 points.
So it's low risk, high reward.
Yep. I mean, yeah.
That's what I mean.
Guys
so
only
if you can get a guy that in the 12th round, like I said, that can finish, I think, as my bold prediction, is a top 20 wide receiver possibly. He has that upside to me, so I'm going to say it's going to happen this year. Contract here, big PP alert.
It's going to happen.
Go.
She likes pigeons.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Pigeons.
So yeah. So
I love pigeons.
Don't be surprised. These are to you. They could be bold, but to us, we expect it.
Like I said, they've already come true, so they're not really bold. I mean, I don't know. It's up to you guys, but believe us.
Listen, I'm not a doctor.
I agree with all of these. Usually I try to find somewhere to disagree, but not yet.
Okay, let's go on to the next one, huh, boys?
Let's do it.
We got a Tua Tagliviola.
Wait, you don't have the Rick Ross button.
Nah, our soundboard erased some of the things, but Tua Tagliviola.
Yeah, we'll do it for him.
I was doing Rick Ross.
All right, so yeah, my second bold prediction is that Tua Tagliviola will be a top 12 quarterback. I'm going to tell you why. So my guy Tua's coming into his second year in the NFL. I mean, maybe it's just because I'm a Dolphins fan and I haven't really paid attention too much of the other skepticism that other rookies have gotten. But I feel like Tua just got the harshest criticism a rookie has gotten in a while. I mean, obviously, Lamar Jackson has got some criticism, as other quarterbacks as well, but maybe Baker Mayfield and stuff. But I just feel like everyone's just dissing Tua after his rookie year, not remembering that this guy is coming off major hip surgery. Like, we didn't even know if this guy was going to be able to play football ever again because that's how bad his hip injury was. I mean, his hip and his like femur or whatever it's called, his leg basically disconnected, and they had to put it back together. So coming back into his second year, Tua basically came out and said he wasn't 100%. He was still kind of nursing the hip. He was a little nervous. Reports of saying that he's put on some weight and some muscle, so he's getting there. He's getting back to 100%. And he actually came out and said that he didn't know the playbook 100% either. So he's getting more healthy. They have the new OC where they're going to cater the whole playbook around Tua. Last year they had Shane Gailey, who was kind of more catering towards the Ryan Fitzmagic style of quarterback play, not Tua. So now he's getting healthy. Like I said, new OC around it. And the one thing I like here is we got him weapons. I mean, last year, outside of Devontae Parker, who wasn't 100% either, I mean, Devontae Parker started the season already banged up, and he pretty much just, toughed it out and finished the whole season. But you got Devontae Parker, you got Mike Gesicki. We saw what he could do and how talented he is, a red zone guy.
Played with a separated shoulder as well, too.
Yeah, I mean, Gesicki's a savage. But one thing I really liked, and I was saying it in the offseason, is we needed some playmakers. We needed some guys who could stretch the field. We needed some guys where you could throw a slant to and they could take it to the house. Because Gesicki and Devontae Parker, they're not those kind of guys. They're more possession, jump ball kind of guys. But they go out and they sign Will Fuller. And I love that signing for him. As long as he can stay healthy, Will Fuller, I think, we saw what he could do when he was healthy with Deshaun Watson. I mean, the guy was a savage. And then they go out and they get Jalen Waddle from Alabama, who played with Tua at Alabama. So they already have the connection and in the rapport. So they have the weapons. Tua's getting healthy. And then just looking at the schedule's pretty easy. I know things change, from year to year. The defense has changed. I actually did a video on the TikTok if you want to check it out, just talking about how the defenses will change from year to year. You'll lose players to free agency or you're drafting players and whatnot. But in terms of last year's stats, at least 12 of these 17 games this year, because they moved it from 16 games to 17 games this year, 12 of these 17 opponents that Tua is going to face finished in the bottom half of the NFL in terms of completion percentage allowed. So teams not very good at defending the pass. And 11 of those teams were in bottom half in yards allowed per game. So not facing the toughest competition. And then we're also not a running team. I mean, think of all the running backs. Anthony, you could probably attest to this too. Think of all the running backs that have come out in the last 2 years. And then all of the draft picks that Miami has had in the first, second, third round. We didn't draft any of those running backs. We stuck with Myles Gaskin. We did draft a running back in the 7th round. We go out and get Malcolm Brown, who I think is just kind of a depth move for us here. So there's not a running back who's going to command 300, 350 total touches, I think. So I think we're going to throw more than we'll run. I don't know what your thoughts on that will but yeah, I think Tua has the potential here with these new weapons to finish his top 12.
Dude, don't underestimate the gas cannon, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a couple of points too. I mean, I guess you could say Wait,
so what do you say? Bold prediction. What are you saying? Tua finishes what?
Tua top 12 quarterback, like a QB1.
Tua's one Tua. Top 12, 1, 2.
Yeah, I mean, just to speak on a couple of points, to your point, I mean, his ex-receiver at one point in the season was Jakeem Grant. He's literally thrown to an ex-receiver who's 5'4".
If you don't know who Jakeem Grant is, he's basically
like
Kevin Hart's
on the
cousin.
field.
Yeah.
And not even making this up.
He really
does.
He really does. They have like
He wasn't ready.
I mean, Malcolm Perry, too. I mean, and it's just a whole different scenario this year. You got Devontae Parker coming in. You got Will Fuller. You got Jalen Waddle. I mean, even the tight end we drafted in the 3rd round. He's a pretty good.
Hunter Long.
Yeah, a pretty good receiving tight end as well.
Led all of college football in receptions. Hunter Long.
Yeah, so that changes. I think Miami's offensive line is the thing that can make or break this season. They had a lot of 3 offensive linemen that were rookies last year, adding another offensive lineman this year. If they make that step, it's only going to help too. It's interesting because to the point where you do, everyone's touting Joe Burrow just because he got Jamar Chase. Like, oh, Joe Burrow's going to be the next this, that. I mean, I'll give you some ugly numbers on Joe Burrow real fast. There's not much of a difference between Joe Burrow and Tua's rookie year, except Joe Burrow threw the ball nonstop. That's literally the only difference. I mean, I'll save this for another episode, some of this stuff, but I mean, the ugly stats: 19th in touchdowns from Joe Burrow, 25th in average, 22nd in completion percentage, and 24th in QBR and QB rating. I mean, so he was literally just throwing the ball nonstop, is why he had this just outrageous pace. But yet he's being touted as this, still even coming off an ACL injury. I would say wasn't a bold prediction, but I'll tell you, I'd rather take Tua over Joe Burrow this year. That might sound a little bold too, but you got one guy coming off a hip surgery, and now he's getting healthy. You have one guy coming off an ACL surgery, not even building rapport with these receivers, didn't even really address the offensive line. They went for a receiver in the first pick. They took the second, but as we all know, seconds are hit or miss with that. So, and he didn't even play that well last year, to be honest.
Yeah.
He had that primetime game where he threw for 300-something yards, but he threw the ball 67 times. Not even, it was literally, I think, 67 times.
Yeah.
That's a lot of times.
That's a lot of times.
Yeah.
It's a lot of hairs.
And not to say Joe Burrow's not going to be good by any means, but I'm just saying, it's the rookie season, like Tyler said, it was judged very harshly. Not saying Tua is going to be the next big thing, but I mean, it's a whole different scenario this year. If he can't get it done or at least progress this year, then it's a different story.
So what do you guys think? You want a beer bet Joe Burrow versus Tua?
I'll do it.
All right, I'll take Joe Burrow. And dude, that's in my division, dude. I don't even know what I'm doing.
He's like, I'm rooting for him. But now you're rooting for him a little bit.
Well, you also got the rushing upside of Tua, and you got one guy coming off an ACL. So how many points did he get for rushing? It's fantasy.
Okay, yeah. So we'll just do overall fantasy.
You're talking like fantasy finish.
Yeah, fantasy finish.
Yeah.
All right, so
Okay, I'll take
have
Joe.
a beer bet. Joe Donkey.
Joe Burrow over Tua.
Joe Donkey over
Me
Tua.
and Anthony. Anybody else want to join in on this one?
I'm gonna let y'all.
I
bang
like
that
both
one
of
out.
them, so I would sit this one out.
I'm gonna let y'all bang that one out.
I like Tua. I think the lack of weapons, like Anthony said, we had Jakeem Grant. I mean, we're playing with basically, Preston Williams got hurt halfway through the season. We were playing with basically 4th, 5th, 6th string wide receivers.
Yeah, they had Lynn Bowden, who got traded from the Raiders. He's gonna be like a number 4 there now.
I think Lynn Bowden, but another guy where, just a shifty guy. I mean, just a guy you get the ball in his hands, and that's just yak. That's just extra yards for Tua. Like you said, Jakeem Grant. He's small and shifty, but, I mean, the guy was first team All-Pro and for a returner. So another guy where you just throw. I mean, Tua could literally throw a wide receiver screen to him, and Jakeem Grant can run the ball 80 yards down the field. And
So can Jalen Waddle. So could Albert Wilson.
yeah,
I mean,
Albert
these are
Wilson.
guys
So I
coming
mean,
back,
so
too.
he is stacked with weapons now.
Waddle,
So like Anthony
waddle,
said, there's kind of no
Excuse.
excuses for Tua here outside of maybe the offensive line, but I'm gonna trust Chris Greer and Brian Flores and the way they've been drafting and the way they've been approaching free agency to not really address the offensive line, that they're comfortable and confident in what we do have to get the job done. So yeah, I do like Tua this year to be potentially make the next step.
I do trust your coach, so I do like your coach. He's a good coach.
Coach of the year this year, baby.
He good coach.
We're winning the Super Bowl, remember?
You good coach.
I saved that. I saved
2022.
that clip. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's supposed to be this year, huh?
Yep, that is.
Okay.
Is it
All right.
2022 season or 20?
What we got
The
next,
Super
Mac?
Bowl will be in 2022.
What we got next,
so.
Big Mac?
Bro, that's not fair because you can now you can just say, oh no, I meant the 2022
Well,
season.
dude, see, you just never know. Dude.
Bro, he didn't take that beer bet.
Well, maybe we'll win the Super
Yeah,
Bowl
bro,
back
how
to
are you
back,
not
dude.
gonna take that beer bet?
You're not gonna take that beer bet, bro.
Are you gonna say they're gonna win the
fucked up.
Super Bowl and he's not? What? Tua's gonna just fucking hand the ball off to Miles Gaskin every play or what?
No,
gas can, bro.
Someone's gonna. Yeah, you know what? He's gonna go on a Willie Parker type of run. We're just gonna run for a lot of yards on the
He's
field.
like, Gaskin, you
Hey.
tired? Here, take it, Waddle. Waddle. He waddles
Hey,
up the field. Waddle.
Lynn Bowden,
like a duck.
Lynn Bowden in motion all day to Jalen Waddle.
Hey,
Can have him once. Can have him once.
hey, watch
It'll happen
Bowden.
at least once.
Bowden's gonna throw a touchdown. That college quarterback's gonna come out.
All right, we'll jump into the next one then.
Yeah, let's do it.
Aiyuk! Sorry, we're supposed to have it on the soundboard side.
We're supposed to have it.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Like I said, I'm kind of going to stick with the theme here of guys who are, you could say, elite separators. I mean, Brandon Aiyuk in his rookie season, comparable wide receivers, I'll give you just 2 names that he separated against man and press, and you tell me how good these receivers are. Not saying he's them, but when you come to the level of what he did as a rookie, DK Metcalf and A.J. Brown. Just the level he does.
Shout out to Ole Miss.
Just the level and way he can against press and man coverage and the way he separates. I mean, the guy wins at every route. Like, it's legit. Curls, I think digs, posts, 9 route. He's the best 49ers receiver. I mean, Deebo Samuel had a nice little rookie season, but I know he was hurt last year. But they use him more as screens, these underneath routes. I mean, Brandon Aiyuk was winning at all levels, and they do give him the ball. They give him rushing attempts. I got to assume that, with the 16-game pace, the only reason my bold prediction is top 12. I can't put him top 5 because I know the 49ers are always a run-heavy team. And unless he gets a high touchdown total, then that's why I have a hard time putting him even higher.
Top 10, dude.
I mean,
I'll do top 10.
Yeah.
All right,
he's going to get. I mean, you saw he gets end around too. Shanahan finds ways to get these guys a rock, so they don't always have to catch the ball to be effective.
Well, yeah, over 400 yards after catch. Only 53% of the time he didn't go down on first contact. So that's also something you like, where you have a receiver who's not going down on first contact. Like I said, as a rookie, won on every route. That's pretty rare to see a rookie win on every route. And the separation level percentile of what he did, I'm not even joking. It's like A.J. Brown type. And the yards after catch, it's A.J. Brown type. I'm not comparing him to A.J. Brown because they're different receivers. But if you look at the production and some of the things that A.J. Brown did, I mean, this guy's in his rookie year.
It's good company to be in.
Yeah, showed some special ability. I believe he's the wide receivers. X-receiver. Shanahan has a history of feeding his true X-receiver. He did play on the outside. He played that X. Like I said, Deebo Samuel might even still be touted as the one in San Francisco, but I personally believe that it's Brandon Aiyuk. Watching them both play, I just personally on the film, like when I did watch the 49ers play, I just noticed a difference between him and Deebo Samuel, in my personal opinion. I know you're more of a 49ers fan than me, so I don't know how you felt about it, but that's how I personally felt. Able to make big plays, yards after the catch, so I think he's going to be the X in this offense. I think it was only 11 games he started last year. 96 targets, 60 receptions, 748, and 5 touchdowns.
Five touchdown.
That's in 11 games, and then 2 on the ground as well. So I'm predicting that target volume to go up. I'm predicting he's going to be the starting X. We don't know what's going on fully at quarterback 100% yet to start the season, so that's where that comes in. But I love the upside of Brandon Aiyuk this year. Aiyuk. And also if he hits, we get to have that drop all the time.
Oh, hell yeah.
Another one I agree. I was just reading one of the beat writers for San Francisco, and he was saying how the pecking order right now, they said if they had to say right now, it goes Kittle, Aiyuk, Debo. So he is, some will say Debo, but they're saying that they see Aiyuk having the 1,000-yard season and Debo being around 800 to 950. So, but yeah, I agree. I mean, he's a little bit more polished than Debo. I mean, I know coming in, I wasn't that big on Debo, actually. I mean, I remember still telling T-Rev, I was like, I don't know what it is. Maybe because he's 23 when he got drafted, I don't know. But Aiyuk was balling last year. I mean, he looks really good. Like you said, 2 rushing touchdowns. So, that they can use him with the end arounds and the sweeps and stuff like that. Yeah, I like Trey Lance too. So I agree with you that it's going to be Kittle, and then I think it's going to be Aiyuk.
I mean, I looked at both their reception perceptions, which is like a receiver tool, and I said Debo struggled. He was hurt last year, so I'm not going to knock that on him. But he wasn't even that great as a rookie. Brandon Aiyuk as a rookie was. I mean, he's like, you look at like his just success rate and everything. I mean, it was borderline like Stephon Diggs. Some of these guys who are just green all across the board. They win in every route. They separate everywhere. And I mean, if you get an elite set, he's as a rookie to have that separation, and like I said, to be in the company with like A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf against man and press. I mean, that's some of the hardest things for a rookie is to beat man and press. And when he's beating it consistently as a rookie, I mean, the guy's only gonna, I'm assume, get better in my opinion. So, like I said, I mean, I think he's someone. Do you know where he's going? Actually, I'll look it up. If not, but
it's like, dude, I want to
say
7th.
7th, 8th,
7th.
9th.
Yeah.
I mean, and one thing I could say is, there wasn't a lot of games where you had Aiyuk, Debo, and Kittle all healthy playing on the field. So, like you said, a guy who can beat man press and just get open. I do know Shanahan even came out and said, there's certain games where hey, we're just game planning on ways to get Aiyuk the ball because of how explosive he is. But when you have Debo and you have Kittle out there too, it just kind of takes a little bit of pressure off him because now the defense can't really hone in on him. They're probably going to focus on Kittle a ton, and then obviously just having Debo on the other side is going to help make Aiyuk's life even easier. So I like it. And a player that I'm going to be targeting in every single one of my drafts, especially Dynasty Mike, bitch.
That's hostile.
Mike, bitch.
Honestly, I'm probably gonna draft Aiyuk like 2 rounds early, just so I can just say,
make sure you got
Aiyuk, bro, at the draft table, start hitting everybody with fireballs.
You put those 2 words together, Mike, bitch. It was like a hyphen between the 2.
Well, what did Mike say when you guys get into it? He called you dude and bro. Remember? He's like, dude, bro. Or
Yeah, I said no. I called him Guy and like something. Yeah.
I was like, you got someone where they give you those two in one sentence.
Yeah.
Guy, bro, dude, bro, something like that.
Let's jump into the next one then.
This is the last one here. So I have Cedee Lamb on here.
Anthony with the sounds.
I told you I'm here for animal.
No, I can do this one quick too,
So
man.
this is more Dallas Cowboys receivers. Am I wrong on that?
So I
What's
say
the bold prediction?
Yeah. What's your bold prediction?
two Cedee and Amari will be top 20 at least, both of them together.
Make it top 15, bro.
I said at least top 20.
so
That gives me the
He's like, well, if they're
So
18, then I
Cedee-
still win.
two top 20. I mean, that's still hard to do. I mean,
That is still hard to do.
you're basically getting a wide receiver 1 like a wide receiver 1B.
So you're saying Cedee Lamb and Amari Cooper both finished top 20.
top 20, both of them. So just to give you some numbers, Dak got hurt week 5, in week 5, so he did 4 whole weeks and half of the 5th game. And Amari was on pace. I'm only doing 16 games, so obviously this year, there's 17, but for that, if Dak would have stayed healthy the whole year, Amari was on pace for 204 targets at 12.75 a game, 148 catches, 1,600 yards, only 4 touchdowns. With the touchdowns, which is kind of weird. I figured that would have kind of gotten a little bit closer to average 6 or 7, but still 148 targets, 148 catches, 1,600 yards. He was a number 1 wide receiver in PPR going into week 5. I mean, the dude had, like I said, 12.75 targets a game with Dak those first 4 games. Then you have Cedee Lamb as a rookie who had a phenomenal year. I mean, for sure. I mean, if Dak didn't get hurt, he could have made a push for rookie of the year. He is on pace for 128 targets at 8 targets a game, 93 catches, 1,385 yards, and 6 touchdowns. So,
Pretty
I mean, call it what you want, but both of those dudes were on pace to absolutely ball. I mean, a rookie for 93 catches, that's better than Justin Jefferson. 6 tugs, I mean, that's not there, but Cedee Lamb was also the number 2, and he's not. And I mean, you still have Zeke there that's going to eat, but the fact that they were passing that much, this dude Dak was on pace for almost 6,000 passing yards. So, I mean, I know Dak got his money now. I think Zeke, I mean, aside from Amac's workout video with Zeke, he actually has lost some weight. He does look good.
I hope he's lost some weight.
Yeah. But I'm not a Cowboy fan at all in football, but fantasy wise, I mean, I'm rooting for Dak, and I think Cedee, I mean, Dak's already said Cedee Lamb's going to have a special year, but I mean, if you're on pace for 93, 1,306 already, I mean, there's no reason he can't get that now. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be a top 20 finish if you finish with 93 and almost 1,400 yards. Like I said, Amari, I doubt he gets 148 catches. That's just the pace. But to know that it's up there, I mean, the volume will be there. Who knows if it's going to be 13 a game? But
yeah, Dak was. Remember everybody was crying when Dak got fucking hurt.
Yeah, he was ball. And you still have Michael
balling,
Gallup,
yeah.
who's
my QB1.
who's actually
Anthony had him projected to be. What, you had him 1 overall or 2?
1.
Was it 2 or 1?
It could have been. It might have been 2. I think
You were pretty hyped on him.
Maybe
'cause
behind Mahomes, I think.
I can't remember.
But yeah,
No.
you had him up there, and I mean, I think he was the QB1
he
when
was.
he got hurt.
No, he was.
Like
He
Troy
was.
said, he was on pace for
6,000. It was
Yeah, I remember
5,900 yards.
and
Yeah,
he was just balling.
I remember because
he was definitely earning that payday because they basically put him on the franchise tag, and he was basically earning that contract extension.
Yeah, him and Amari were both number 1. I definitely remember that. They were both number 1 going into week 5.
I just remember the Steelers almost lost to Blaine Gabbert or something like that. So
That's my bold prediction.
Thanksgiving.
Both of them are going to be top 20. I mean, obviously that's contingent on Dak being healthy, of course. But if he plays a whole 16-game or 17-game season, I don't. And Cedee is my keeper in our league. I got him in the 9th round. So
If you had to draft one, Amari or Cedee, who would you take in?
I would probably take Cedee just because the wide receiver depth is so big and the running back position's at a premium that if I can get Cedee in the 9th, who can.
Well, you're not getting him in the 9th this year.
Well, he's my keeper. No, he's my keeper. So
Okay, we're not talking about
okay, but in regular. Okay, but in real
Yeah,
life.
we're
Okay,
giving
okay.
advice to
Sorry,
people.
no. So sorry. And anyways.
Colts like, if I get him in the 9th,
Okay,
yeah,
so
I'll take Cedee.
Cedee's going. Well, Cedee Lamb's going to go a couple rounds behind Amari.
I think they're being drafted. I think they're being drafted in the same round.
Cedee's actually going a couple spots ahead of him.
Oh, well, I would take Cedee Lamb.
You would take Cedee Lamb over Amari Cooper?
Yeah.
I'll take
I
Amari.
still think people are going to take Amari Cooper more, but that's just my personal opinion.
I hate to say it because
but I love Amari
I don't want
Cooper.
to say I hate Amari Cooper. I just felt like he was always been so inconsistent with the boom and bust. And
but
it was a
Dak.
small, very, very small sample size we saw with Cedee Lamb and Dak. But I do know that, especially in PPR leagues, Cedee Lamb with Dak, it was like at least 5 catches and 50-something yards every single game, like minimum. That was like a minimum of what you were getting.
He literally had 5, 5, 6.
But I
5.
think I would still probably lean Amari Cooper very slightly. But man, I think Cedee Lamb is
Gross.
You want to talk about to the moon players that you can draft? Like, another episode we're going to talk about. We're going to do a bunch of players that are going to take you to the moon, since that's the new hype saying right now. Everything's to the moon now. But Cedee Lamb, a guy who will take you to the moon. He'll take your team to the moon.
Yeah, I mean, and Amari's still young. I guess it's more. I didn't know they were that close in ADP, but I feel people are still going to fuck with Amari. But yeah, I'll take Cedee.
Let's play a game. You guys ready?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. Odell Beckham versus all of our bold predictions.
Oh my god.
OB.
I don't think anybody
OBJ
wants.
or
hate Odell.
OBJ
I'm
or CD,
rooting for the guy. I want him to do good.
OBJ or Cedee Lamb.
Oh,
Cedee Lamb.
Cedee Lamb.
Cedee Lamb.
Yeah.
Mike.
Cedee Lamb.
OBJ or Brandon Aiyuk.
That one's close.
I'm
gonna
going
go Aiyuk just because I like his name. I hate Odell Beckham.
I don't know. That's close. That one out.
Every time I draft
That
Odell,
one would be really
fucking-
close.
I don't think I've drafted
Bro,
him.
he's top 12. I don't know why
years,
you would
but-
draft Odell.
Yeah, bro.
Mike,
He's
who
top
you
12.
going?
It's close.
On that one?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not. I don't think I'm taking Aiyuk on any of these.
And it's more. I mean, the
Aiyuk and you.
yeah, the Niners are pretty much like the same.
Excuse
as the
me,
Browns.
Odell. Did I say Aiyuk?
Yeah.
Oh, I meant Odell. I'm not taking Odell on any of these.
That one would be close.
Who do we have for that? Odell or Diontae Johnson? Diontae Johnson's actually going pretty well below.
Yeah,
I
I'll take
would go
Diontae
Diontae
Johnson.
Johnson.
I would take
Diontae
Diontae
Johnson.
Johnson.
I'll take
yeah.
Chase Claypool.
I'll take Diontae.
I'll take
Johnson.
Pat Fryermuth.
I think Odell I would take over Mike Williams just because
I was gonna say that was the one.
that's the one where like you still kind of don't know. But
Yeah.
who has the higher upside? I think Mike Williams has the higher upside with the 10+ touchdowns.
Oh, touchdowns.
potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Odell
Yeah.
could just get.
I think Odell's best days are behind. I think everyone
I
keeps
know.
thinking about the one-handed catch. They keep thinking about the 3 straight years where he balled in New York, not forgetting that was 5 years ago.
No, yeah.
He is not the same Odell Beckham Jr.
I hope to see that he can. I mean, but we'll see.
He's not even the best receiver on his team.
I know.
Shout out to Juice, Jarvis Landry.
Juice.
The ex-Dolphin.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go. Those are the.
Bold
let's
predictions. So when they what do we have? How many? 2, 4, 6, 7 predictions. So when we go 7 for 7
Yeah.
I mean,
huge.
You gotta
Don't be
Venmo, you gotta
surprised.
Venmo us $100.
Hey, so wait, can I say this? Because I was thinking this.
no.
Dre.
What up?
So,
$5.
like, say you're a Pokemon trainer, and then
Okay.
you throw,
I am a Pokemon
You throw
trainer.
Cedee Lamb out there. What do you use? Dak attack.
Do I use? Well, what's
That's
my other option?
what you're or scratch or Lear. Yeah.
Oh,
Lear.
you know, we'll do Dak attack. It's got a good ring to it.
How long were you sitting on that?
I was gonna say it better, but I didn't set it up very good. But I was waiting too long, so I had to I don't know.
I
dig
dig
it.
it. I
I
did
I was
better.
only waiting since minute 36. Minute
fucking
52.
gay.
But
Fucking
anyways.
gay.
So I put another timestamp.
Sometimes you gotta just say it when you feel it, Mike. Just cut us
Yeah.
off, bro.
Yeah,
Hey,
just-
you know what you
you
could
guys
do?
were deep. You guys were deep.
Yeah,
in
but you
there.
could just mute all of us. No one would know.
And then I just say it over you guys. That's so funny.
We wouldn't even know. Be like, hey, where'd my voice go?
I really could do it. No, like I could mute it and you guys could keep talking and think that it's going, but you
Yeah,
have no idea. It's
you
not
have
even
that
recording.
power.
I have it.
You got it, dude.
That's a lot of power to have.
You got it, dude.
One man for a lot of power.
One man. Little tortilla.
I mute myself. I actually mute myself every time I'm not talking, so it doesn't feel like a computer. But yeah, that's the bold predictions right there.
him and his tortillas.
Wow.
What's happening right now?
That's so because I watched that whole Paulo Francisco the other
Oh,
day.
did you?
The whole
Little
thing, I was like,
tortilla boy.
Pablo
His
Francisco,
sound
just YouTube.
His sound
Pablo
effects are so
Francisco.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah. Yeah, that's. But yeah, there you go, man. That's
Stop doing that.
We got who's doing that? It's like she's supplying her husband's meth habit in the corner. Give it up for her.
All right, so
Hey, where the duck at? Where you at?
Show
by the
your
way,
face, dog.
I'm creating a new YouTube channel with just highlights. So if you want to go subscribe to that one as well, that will be super helpful for us. By the time this is released, it should be out. And yeah, keep a lookout. For other things coming. You know what I'm saying?
Big things popping.
Big things
Yeah,
popping.
little things dropping.
Hella shit dropping.
Yeah.
Uh,
Some of my hair look like Mr. Bugatti.
you're looking good. Looking gooder than a bitch.
Look like Wolverine.
Got
Sorry,
the
I look
curls,
like
man. Got the lineup of the
I can't really
girls.
see that.
All right, well,
Well, yeah.
you
You
have
want
it,
to throw the
dude.
outro? Yeah, there you go.
Hey, you want to throw the Aiyuk? No, we don't have it.
Yeah, like I said,
Bye. No, we don't have it.
yeah, like I said, leave us a review on the Apple Podcast app if you haven't already. Go, follow us on Spotify. Follow us on so you can get updated whenever we release a new podcast episode.
Follow us on Twitter.
Twitter.
Do it.
It's part of the new thing, bro. It's a
Oh, bro.
Twitter happening, fool. Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah,
You don't
TikTok,
stop.
dude.
TikTok, you don't stop, bruh. Yeah, and be ready for some pretty sweet stuff coming soon in this next month.
Yep.
Get you ready for your draft.
Yep.
What a bust.
Yeah, just like that.
We'll be on soundboard.
Jay. Thanks for listening. This has been the AVG Fantasy Football Podcast, and us guys,
That a
us
boy.
people
Us
are
human.
out of here
Yeah.
like a boomerang.
third
We're
from the
coming
right.
back though, idiots.